Hi, I'm Laurel, and I'm working with the Performing Arts Academy to help bring you these videos about music theory. This is the first video for Level 3, and you can find a link to the other one in the description. In this video, we're going to be covering cut time, asymmetric meter, and expression terms. Let's start with cut time. If you'll remember, common time is notated as a C in the time signature, and it's the same thing as 4/4 time. Sometimes you'll see this symbol instead. It looks like the common time symbol but cut in half. Actually, that's exactly what it means. So if we take 4/4 and we cut both the top number and the bottom number in half, what we get is 2/2. That's what cut time is. So what this means is that we have two beats in a measure, and the half note gets the beat. So in every measure, we're going to have something that's equivalent to two half notes. Now, you might be wondering, what's the point of having 2/2 time when 4/4 notes is already equal to two half notes? Why not just use 4/4 time? That's a good question. They are equivalent in terms of what note values will fit in each measure, but the main difference goes back to the idea of pulse. In 4/4, we feel 4 main beats, but in 2/2, we only feel 2. This often corresponds to a faster tempo in 2/2, but again, the main difference is just in how the strong beats are felt. So again, this symbol, which looks like common time but cut in half, is just that, 2/2 time, which we call cut time. Now let's look at even more complex time signatures. Sometimes we have time signatures where the number of beats in each measure can't be nicely divided by 2 or 3. We call this asymmetric meter. A good example of this is 5/4 time. In 5/4 time, the quarter note gets the beat, and there are 5 beats per measure. Something important to know about asymmetric meter is that notes are often grouped in smaller sets. So for example, in 5/4, we rarely just hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oftentimes, notes will be paired up in groups of 2 and 3. So we might have 2 plus 3, which we would hear as 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Or we might have 3 plus 2, which would sound like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. This is also the case when we have a larger number in the top of the time signature, like in 7/8 time, which is another one that you might see. In 7/8, the notes might be grouped as 3 plus 4, which would sound like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. They might be grouped as 4 plus 3, which would sound like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Or they might be grouped as 2 plus 3 plus 2, which would sound like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's probably the hardest grouping to follow at first, but with most things musical, practice makes perfect. So again, asymmetric meter is when we have a time signature where the top number, the number of beats in a measure, isn't divisible by 2 or 3, and that often leads to smaller groupings of notes within the meter. Now let's talk about expression terms. Sometimes a composer will write something that they want you to play with a particular expressive character. Maybe they want you to make it sound peaceful or playful. Similar to a lot of our tempo terms, most of our expression terms are just Italian terms that we've translated into English. We'll go through a few here, but you'll want to check your term sheet too. Dolce means sweetly. Espressivo means just what it sounds like, expressively. Grave means solemn, much like our word grave, and jocoso means playfully, much like our term joking. These are just a few examples of expression terms, so be sure to check out the sheet for more. So now we've covered cut time, asymmetric meter, and expression terms. You can check out the last video for an introduction to Roman numeral analysis. We'll see you there.